Hey, how you doing, everybody? Today we're going to do the oil change on the ZR2 Duramax 2.8 liter. Now, different people online do this different ways. I'm going to show the way that I like to do it, the way I've done it on other people's customers' vehicles and stuff for work. Cartridge filters, I normally like to remove the filter before draining the oil. That way the oil has plenty of time to get down to the pan. By the time you get under there, take the drain plug out and drain it out. This is already all drained. You're not waiting for a second process of waiting for it to drain once the drain plug's out. What you need, 1/2-inch ratchet. This is overkill for length, but it had me what I had laying close. Short extension makes it easier. An 1 1/16 socket. Just put it on and just turn it to loosen. Does not need to be tight, just snug. I've done this enough times on different vehicles. I know how tight to make them. I've worked on it on cars that other people put them on and had them entirely too tight, and have even rounded off the top of these trying to get them off because someone over tightened them so much. It's a simple process. Just unscrew it. I'm going to wait a few minutes. There's going to be some oil in the cap and so forth. I usually have a hand rag nearby. When you pull it out, that's what you have. Look how black and nasty that is. Now, if the filter gets stuck in the housing, all you have to do is give it a gentle twist and pull at the same time, and it'll pop out. Do not bend back and forth. Don't sit there and smack it on something. Just give it a gentle twist and pull at the same time, straight up, and it'll pop out. I like to take a rag. I like to wipe out the old oil, just to clean it all out as much as you can. Now to remove the O-ring, the old O-ring, just simply squeeze it on both sides, work it up to where it starts to hoop up a little bit right here, you can see. Then you can get a hold with the fingers and work the O-ring off. Just like that. Got your new O-ring. Now you don't want to force this all down one side all at the same time. Don't put it down here and try to stretch it around. Start it up here at the top. Get it started around, and then gently work it around the cap. And this is with all cartridge style filters that are designed like this with the O-ring. Even some big rigs use it. You want to work it all the way around like this. You don't want to stretch that O-ring. There you have it. Then you want to use clean motor oil to lube up that ring, that O-ring then, before you put it in. Make sure you examine down in the hole, make sure nothing fell down in, make sure you didn't drop anything in there. All the oil is drained through okay. I like to snap the new filter in place first. Then you want to lube this with new oil before placing it back into place. Now, I'm using Amsoil, the European car formula 5W30, with the AC Delco oil filter. There's part numbers. I'm an Amsoil dealer, so I get this at dealer cost. But I use Amsoil in all of my vehicles. My wife's Cobalt, been using it since it was brand new. It has 189,000 miles. The engine runs absolutely fabulous. Never had any oil problems, no engine ticks, no knocks, nothing. I also have that in her transmission as well. And it's a manual transmission. My Dodge has been all Amsoil. Absolutely love their product. And then you apply the clean oil to the O-rings. All the way around. Set your filter back down in place. You can feel the filter as it drops down in. Always start it by hand. Don't use a socket and the ratchet. You could accidentally cross thread it, and that's going to cost you a lot of money. All the way to hand to where it starts to get snug. Then you can use your ratchet. So this ratchet is a lot of overkill. You do not need a ratchet this large. You just want to go until it's snug. I don't know if you can see in the video, there's a lip right here. It's just going to bottom out right on the bottom of that bottom aluminum housing here for the filter housing. So far, I absolutely love this engine. It's a torquey little engine. Does great. It is a little slow off the line. If you're trying to beat somebody in a race, you're not going to unless it's something much, much smaller. But you can see right there, it just touched. Snug it up, and that's it. That's all there is to it, to the oil filter. Now when I'm going to go fill the oil, I remove the oil fill cap. I always put clean oil on the O-ring for the fill cap. But I also lay the fill cap at your latch for your hood. I lay them right in here. Right like that. That way you can't forget to put it back on because the hood won't close. And I hope you're not one of those people that slam your hood from all the way open. I usually just bring it down and then drop it. You don't bring it and slam the whole hood. If you are one of those people that slam the hood, I wouldn't put it here because you could break your fill cap. But always put it somewhere you'll remember to put it back on. We're going to leave that off so when we take the drain plug out, the oil will have vent and be able to drain faster. Alright, 15 millimeter 3/8 socket, a 3/8 ratchet. Put it on your drain plug. Loosen it up. Make sure you have your oil pan underneath to catch the oil. Now when I do this, I push in on the plug. It kind of helps the oil from running out when you're taking the plug out. You kind of feel when it's all the way loose. There you go. Now remember, when you're changing your oil, you want the oil to be, the engine to be warm. You don't have to have it like blistering hot, but you want to have the engine warm. And that way all the oil is thinned and can run down into the pan once you have the engine shut off. I usually let it sit for 10 minutes or so before I drain the oil. That's usually why I also do the oil filter first. It gives a chance for all the oil to drain down through to the bottom of the pan. You kind of see some of the damage of the skid plate. They would definitely be replaced with something stronger. I don't like how it got pushed up against the oil pan. I don't know why Chevrolet would use a piece of aluminum for something that's supposed to go off-road. Well, I'm going to pause the video while the oil drains. Okay, oil is down to a drip. Now when you remove these drain plugs, they have a rubber seal on the bottom. Make sure the seal is in good condition. Check it, make sure it's there. Make sure it didn't stuck to the bottom of the oil pan when you took it out. This one all looks good. I wiped it down with some clean oil. Now I'm going to install it. Now this drain plug gets torqued to 18 foot-pounds of torque. I'm going to use a torque wrench, but if you don't have a torque wrench, which you can go to Harbor Freight, pick one up for a coupon for like $10 to $15 or something. Can you hear it click? That's all the tighter it needs to be. 18 foot-pounds. Alright, now the drain plug's in, oil filter's changed. The only thing left, add the oil. These engines take 6 quarts of oil. Here's the oil I'm going to be using. Got 1 quart in there already. Open her up and pour it in. Alright, now be sure whenever you change your oil, before you start the engine, pull your dipstick for your oil. There's a yellow one back here at the corner. Pull that out and check and make sure the oil is within the safe range on the dipstick. As you can see that on there. Make sure it's in that safe range, that checkered area on the dipstick. Now you're safe to start the engine. Now I already did this, but you want to go to your oil life, hit your button here, scroll to the side, turn the steering wheel, use your over button, go to reset, then you want to scroll over again with your over key to yes, and you would hit yes, and it would tell you that you can reset it. I'm going to exit because I already did it. Once you ran the engine for a minute or two, come back out and recheck your oil level. Make sure it's full. And you're done. It's also a good habit sometimes, just look underneath the truck, underneath whatever vehicle you're changing the oil on, and just make sure that there's no leaks, no drips, or anything like that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else. And always, God bless.